Alright, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. It is Black Balloon, and I'm coming back with another video. So, y'all already know what's going on. Alright, y'all. So, look, I just want to jump right into it with this video, right? So, we can call this the update, or, we call it a part 2 to the Maui fires, right? I don't think no, I did. I mentioned in the first part about how they didn't sound off the sirens to alert the people of a disaster, basically, right? So, news today, which is probably the most recent news about the fires, is that the head of Maui's emergency management agency has resigned, citing health reasons. Now, look, they're making this a lot worse on themselves because he did an interview, and he basically said he didn't regret not sounding off the sirens. His reason for not regretting it or not sounding them off was that they're not actually used for wildfires. And if he sounded off the sirens, people would seek higher ground because that's what they're trained to do. And when they did try to seek higher grounds, they would literally run into the fire.
Emergency managers on the island are defending their decision not to activate warning sirens.
Wildfire survivors in Maui have been showing up at this temporary morgue searching for closure.
I feel sorry for the other families, what they lost. They lost their family, their homes, and Maui is hurting.
Lahaina resident Michael Richter lost his home during the fire, and his stepdad, 79-year-old James Smith.
He's gone. I just want to identify the body.
Out of the rubble and ash, Richter managed to find his dog with burns to his body and paws, but still alive.
I just screamed his name one last time, and he just popped up. His eyes were just shut, and he was black.
As the search and recovery effort continues, the head of Maui's emergency management agency is defending his decision not to activate sirens when the fires broke out.
Had we sounded the siren that night, we're afraid that people would have gone malka. And if that was the case, then they would have gone into the fire.
All right, y'all. So look, check it out. So that was just the day before he decided to resign. Or, the government there, they just said, hey, somebody has to pay for this, so you're going to have to go ahead and publicly resign. So it reads, the head of Maui's emergency management agency has resigned, citing health reasons, a day after he defended the silence of the island siren system last week during the deadliest U.S. wildfire in more than 100 years. No details were released about Maui Emergency Management Agency Administrator Herman Adaya's health. His resignation was effective immediately, and his role will be filled as quickly as possible. The wildfires that ignited August 8th have killed at least 111 people. Now, my question to y'all is, when has there ever been this much talk and doubt about a natural caused wildfire, like in the history of wildfires? This one has gotten the most media attention as far as it being caused by DEWs, something that looks like it's out of an apocalypse. I even heard one of the locals describe like a fire cloud or a fire bomb. I forget how he said it, but I have the clip right here. Check this out. It's really short.
Fire bombs were so big they were sucking oxygen out of the air. People didn't have oxygen to breathe. I think this is an absolutely top-level national disaster. We've never seen anything like it. I've been here 32 years. Fire bombs were so big they were sucking oxygen out of the air. People didn't have oxygen to breathe. I think this is an absolutely top-level national disaster. We've never seen anything like it. I've been here 32 years.
Now, a lot of the people that live there and that are locals, they're like, they've never seen anything like this before. He said he's been there 32 years and he's never seen anything like it. It's just out of nowhere, this just happens. And then you get everything that's going on, as far as it possibly being a land grab. Even USA Today, as they usually do, put out an article trying to debunk everything about it possibly being, something that has to do with smart city development, AI, weather manipulation, so on and so on. And they debunked a random video on Instagram that didn't really mean anything, because there's videos on YouTube that have damn near 1 million views about it. And they're actually talking about DEWs. So it just goes to show you their like mission of trying to debunk stuff and, claim so-called conspiracies as misleading or false facts and whatever is very strong. And they're going to always try to keep people thinking that this is, not as deep as it really is, because we all know it's much deeper than what they're trying to tell us. Then you get the whole thing, with Oprah buying up so much land there. Yeah, Oprah has lived in Hawaii, they say part-time, for the last 15 years, but she also recently purchased about 1,000 acres of land in Maui. And there's just so much, there's so much that's going on with it, because I've looked at like everything. I scroll down so many videos, so many news clips. They don't actually know what exactly caused the fire. There's just a bunch of articles about the wind, low humidity, and just random shit to really make you believe that it was a natural wildfire, when you know damn well, where did the fire come from? That's the biggest question. Like, okay, so a piece of grass just caught on fire because of high wind and low humidity, and boom, now you have this huge wildfire that destroys a whole city. Where did it start? Where did it come from? There's literally like 3 different videos of where they think it started, and none of them, is like conclusive. None of them it can actually tell you that this is what started the wildfire.
Last week, just before the fires, the cameras at this bird sanctuary captured a bright flash. Staff believe it's a tree falling on a power line. Shortly afterwards, flames can be seen in the forest. Ross Hart saw something similar before his home burned down.
We could hear some trees falling here and there at the distance, and one big one fell here on the bridge, and it knocked over the power lines.
And then you saw the house, but you could see it burn.
I saw it begin to burn, and they wouldn't let me stay to watch it.
Now that clip right there is probably the most evident that they're literally trying to cover their ass. Or, on the other hand, that might be direct evidence that this was a DEW and this was not naturally caused by power lines. Now, there's also another video that I have, so it goes to show you that they're trying to shoot a narrative that the fire was caused by power lines. I'm going to play a short clip of that as well.
Live right across the street from my house. Freaking power line just went down. I hear a pop coming from across the street. As soon as I hear the pop, all I heard is like electrical, like going on the ground there. Look, there's the power line right there. See them right there, that's the power line that started from up the road there. And all of that is still burning. From there, to me, it simulated a fuse, like somebody lit a fuse for a firework. And it just followed a straight line all the way up to the pole where the thing was. And it landed in a bigger pile of dry grass. And that just ignited. You get all this wind blowing and now you get a fire. It just, that was fuel, and just in a matter of minutes, that whole place was just engulfed. They came up with a water truck, started dousing it, had another couple local construction companies brought up their water tankers, just also helped and assist in just knocking down the fire. Hey, heads up, the line is live on the ground right there. I sent my family away already. Thank you. We thought it was all contained. And then from there, just went ahead about our day, thinking that it was all done. Unbeknownst that later on that afternoon, the winds just continued to just smoke the whole day. And I guess that's what just fueled the restarting. Yeah, I'm happy that it was out there for them to see. And a lot of them got warning when they saw the Facebook Live. Maybe it'll bring closure to some of the families to answer some of the questions.
That makes, I think, about 2 or 3 videos that I've seen where they're trying to blame the start in about 3 different places on power lines because of the high mile-per-hour winds. They're literally trying to tell us that in 3 different places, because of the wind, power lines fell onto a tree, or grass, and boom, fire just starts immediately. Now y'all just saw the clip. I've never seen a power line hit a tree and start a fire that fucking fast. Am I wrong? Is there an expert out there on power lines and trees and grass, and y'all could tell me that the fire does actually start that fast when it falls? Please let me know. So it goes either way. Like I just said, either they're trying to cover their ass and make us believe some bullshit. I mean, I think that came from BBC News or something. So we can't really, take that for the truth anyway. Or, what is it? Is that direct proof right there that that was not caused by something natural? So this whole thing is very questionable. To me, it's gotten the most attention. I've never seen this many, videos on YouTube of people trying to figure out what actually went on. I've never seen it. And it all just feels ritualistic. This could be bigger. They say so many kids are missing. Remember in the last video how it was like it's just a big focus on kids. We just never really know. I don't think we will ever know the true count of how many people died and how many kids, are unaccounted for. I don't think we will ever really know the real number because it's already more than what they're telling us now. And a lot of this seems like, it's ritualistic. It's like a mass sacrifice, especially for children, to, all to Molech, all to the god of children sacrifice, basically. Now, real quick, I don't want to make this too long, but I guess we might as well go into a little bit about the deity Molech, the ancient god of child sacrifice. So it says, perhaps no pagan deity was as revealed as Molech, a god whose cult reportedly sacrificed children in a furnace set inside the belly of a bronze bull. This is for context, because when I talk about things like this, I want us to be completely aware of how, these people operate and who they choose to, do these rituals to. They're giving this up. They're giving their blood up to someone. They sacrifice to someone for something. Throughout antiquity, sacrifice might have been utilized in times of great strife, but one cult stands out from the rest of its brutality, the cult of Molech. The cult of Molech, or Molech, however you want to say it, is said to have boiled children alive in the bowels of a big bronze statue with the body of a man and the head of a bull. Offerings, at least according to some inscriptions in the Hebrew Bible, were to be reaped through either fire or war, and it's rumored that it can still be found to this day. The cult of Molech, and we're just gonna go over this real quick. I don't want to make it too long. If y'all want, y'all can go and research this on your own, or we could come around with another video a little bit later. It says the cult of Molech is believed to have been practiced by the people of Levant region from at least the early Bronze Age, and images of the bullish head with a child burning in its belly persist into the medieval times. His name likely derives from the Hebrew word Melech, which usually stands for king. There are also references to a Moloch in ancient Greek translations of old Judaic texts as well. These date back to the Second Temple period between 516 BC and 70 CE, before the Second Temple of Jerusalem was destroyed by the Romans. Molech is most frequently referred to in Leviticus. And here's a passage from Leviticus condemning child sacrifice. Do not allow any of your children to be offered to Molech. So we don't have to go too deep into this. This just gives us a little bit of context on why a lot of little ones go missing every single year and why they do rituals and sacrifice little ones to the god Molech, who is here represented by a man with a bull head. You could go down multiple avenues with this stuff because it's, it's crazy at the end of the day, man. At the end of the day, a lot of people lost their lives. A lot of kids are missing. A lot of kids lost their lives, animals. So it's serious, it's not nothing that we don't take serious, but it's also something where we really want to know the truth. And like I said, I'll say it again, I don't think I've ever seen this many people talking about what supposedly was a wildfire. That in itself tells us, that this is way deeper than something that could have happened natural. People aren't stupid. There's not going to be a million people talking about this thing possibly being the use of direct energy weapons or something, some kind of laser that may have caused a fire, or You know, however, the fire was weaponized. You know, there's not going to be this many people talking about it if there's not some kind of truth to it. You know, not everybody's crazy and just out here looking for, you know, some kind of random theory to base on people losing their lives, you know. So they can't fool us forever, you know. And it's been started, man. It's been started. People are catching on to this kind of stuff. And as they become more blatant, you know, it becomes more obvious to us what is actually going on. So yeah, man, I think we'll leave it alone right here. You know, I didn't want to cover every single thing that I saw about the Maui fires because a lot of it gets, you know, it gets a little crazy. You know, there's just a lot out there that people think is happening, and I just wanted to kind of cover the facts and, you know, hit over a couple of points again, man. But y'all let me know if y'all found anything new in the comments. This will probably be the last video I do on it for now until something else comes out that I feel is worth recording another video. And y'all already know what's going on, man. So with that being said, it's Black Balloon, and I'm gonna see y'all soon.